Hi, ladies and gentlemen. We're back today, and I chose a film that I like to call a female action flick, Thelma and Louise. Who's starting?
I guess I can go first. I've never seen Thelma and Louise. I've never seen it. First time watching it. First time. Fucking dope. It's a fucking great movie. And I don't even think it's a chick flick. And if it is a chick flick, it's got the biggest balls in the history of chick flicks. I love this movie. This movie is awesome. It made me want to start tying little sashes around my neck and driving, and like me and my wife. This is also the first movie I've done in our series, the first ever that my wife stopped what she was doing to sit down and be like, "What are you watching today?" And I'm like, "Thelma and Louise, you know that." She's like, "This is a good one." The acting is unreal. And I mean, Susan Sarandon is one of my forever MILFs because she is just timeless. What a timeless beauty. And it's like, the more dusty she got, the better looking she was. You know what I mean? I only had one or two gripes with this movie.
Okay.
One was, I still don't understand why Harvey Keitel was trying to help them so much.
I don't know. And there are, at the end, I did feel like there's some loopholes and some story things that just didn't tie together, but I forgave it all overall.
Yeah, no, totally.
But I feel you.
Yeah, he's got that weird scene. He breaks into Thelma's house and he looks at the picture and he goes, "Happy birthday." Like, I thought maybe there was a history there between them, but they never.
I think he got it from the very beginning that they were completely innocent and that everything that happened was just circumstances. I really believe that. And I think, like when he looked at that picture of Susan Sarandon and she was a majorette or whatever the hell she was, I felt like they were saying, like, this is, and look how meticulous her house was. This is not a murderer. This is not any of those things.
Good point.
This is just, I feel like he was that person that got it.
And he seemed to know the waitress in the beginning, and she was kind of giving it like it is. You know what I mean? Like, hey, listen, that guy Hal's a real piece of shit. This woman was wonderful. She left me a great tip. They were the sweetest, so that's a good point. But it still just felt like he had another vested interest in their innocence or them coming out of it okay, which I didn't understand the correlation. It still made for a wonderful movie, and he's amazing, incredible actor. It just was kind of like, and then
maybe there's a deleted scene. Perhaps there's something that got cut. You know how sometimes they cut something and it just leaves a residual.
Because you notice we never really heard what happened in Texas. We presume that she got raped, but we never really know. And yet, do you remember that one time when Harvey Keitel said, "I know what happened to you in Texas"? So you might be right, Emily. That might be like a scene that got deleted where they tied that together, and maybe they just felt like, we didn't need it or something. I don't know.
There was a deleted scene with Harvey Keitel and Catherine Keener as his wife. And it was giving a little background about how he was as a man and that he is a good man and him loving his wife, something like that. It's in the new DVD. It's like you can watch it. But anyways, to put a button on it, the only other problem I had was some of the music was a little weird. There was like one song in the middle of the movie of this woman doing like this, "You taking your hair and you smoking a cigarette." And me and my wife just looked at each other like, what the fuck is this fucking song right now? But it was unbelievable. Fantastic film. Ridley Scott, one of the great auteurs, directors of our time. It's not a chick flick. It's an awesome movie.
I have 2 appointments for liposuction ever since I saw that Brad Pitt scene. I mean, his body's like off the charts. So
his body still looks the fucking same.
Brad Pitt in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I would almost argue is hotter now than he was in this movie.
He put some man weight on and he got a little I'm going, dude, you're fucking 60 years old and you look better than you did when you were 21.
Yeah.
Man, Brad Pitt, I love you. Anyways.
Yeah. Okay, so I have to just say, though, it's interesting between this movie and then we watched, 9 to 5, etc. And I'm starting to pick up this horrible trend about how poorly women get treated. Like, you realize that this whole movie is based on the fact that just because she was dancing with that creep and having a good time, so therefore no one's going to believe that she didn't deserve to get raped? Or
I know.
That part sucked, to tell you the truth. I mean, you realize this whole thing is predicated on the fact that no one would believe her because everyone saw her dancing. Like, seriously.
Very
like,
sad.
It's also predicated on the fact that they needed to get away from their husbands/boyfriends so badly that it was worth all of this. Like, Gina Davis lies. And she even says, but it's so horrible. Whatever the dynamic of the relationship is, she sneaks out to run away, but also leaves him food in the freezer.
Yeah,
that summed it up for me.
And in the microwave.
Yeah.
She wasn't taking any chances. Most expensive fuck ever, $6,700 for a night with Brad Pitt. I once had great sex with this guy, and the next day my Cartier watch was missing, and that was $4,000, and it wasn't worth it. But this $6,700, that was definitely, yeah. I think. I mean, that's what home equity lines of credit are for, right?
Yeah, but it was Susan Sarandon's money, and she didn't get laid.
I know. That made it even better. So truthfully, if you looked at like the things that happened, like where, they shot, that police officer's radio, and then they poked the 2 holes in the trunk.
Yeah.
Or even that they just walked into the store and they did everything that we all fantasize about doing, but we don't because it's, probably not legal. But
well, I mean, it's just great. It's these women taking their freedom back and taking their, saying, fuck it, I'm not putting up with this bullshit anymore. When they shoot that fucking dickhead truck driver who's been doing stuff,
oh yeah,
fuck yeah, blow that.
I loved it. Even the ending, even though obviously we know that they died, but they decided it. Mm-hmm. And I just thought that even that was just great. At the very end, when they're all surrounded, it's like, hell no, you're not going to put me in jail. You're not going to do that. We're going to go up our way. And great movie. I was glad you picked it, Emily.
Thank you. Well, you kind of started touching on one of my thoughts, which was, as I brain fade on it, the fantasizing, things that we all fantasize about. And there was something when I was watching this that I thought, this is kind of like the ladies' version of Fight Club.
Yeah.
And that we were discussing, like, what do you wish you could do? And in some ways, there's part of me that thinks like there's another ending to this where they wake up and it was a dream kind of thing. Like maybe they didn't really do, because you don't think they're really going to do it. It has a fantasy element to me overall because it's just, I really enjoy this movie. I wish I was these women.
Me too.
Yeah.
Do you think, like, this movie's always been referenced as, like, the beginning of, like, women's empowerment? Do you think, was that?
I don't think it was the beginning because you had something like 9 to 5 before this, but I think it's the freedom, the sense of freedom, because you had 9 to 5 push the boundaries. If you think about it, that was, 10, 15 years before this. Wasn't this early 90s, 93?
This was 91 it came out, 1991.
So it's 11 years later. You have those women kind of fighting back in a different kind of way. So I think I don't think it was the beginning, but I think it was the first time you saw like them fight back and use violence. Like I don't think there was a movie that had violence. Yeah, I don't think there was another movie where women were so aggressive and like unfiltered and they just did what they wanted. And that's why I think of this as like an action movie in a way. Like it's storytelling, but this is like a female action film.
Yeah. And they don't know like karate or anything. They're just two normal people who just get into some shit and say, fuck it, we're taking our lives back. And I agree with you. It's like, it's a normal, it's almost like a Breaking Bad, if you will, you know.
Yeah,
just gotta push to that level.
Anti-hero. This might be to me more the start of an anti-hero kind of thing, which you didn't see as often. And you don't see as many women. Yeah, you don't see a lot of female anti-heroes as much as men. Pie chart. So, do we think this is like a gangbang? This is everybody loves it?
Yeah, it's a great movie. It's an Academy Award nominated film. I don't think it's a chick flick.
No.
Yes. I just think it's a good movie. And I think
I'm with you.
Yeah.
All right. So we all agree this is a great movie. It's a gangbang for us. We all love it. And we don't know what we're watching next. So it's going to be a surprise for all of you. Like, subscribe, share.